Hello, everyone. Today we're looking at the earnings for ABBV, ticker ABBV. This was the first stock that I looked at. My first video was the year-end financials for this stock, where we came up with a value in the high hundreds, could be in the low 200s. We saw valuation metrics kind of across the board. For the dividend, we wanted to see it around 160 or lower, and the good news is it is 160 or lower, as it's down to the $150 per share price today after these earnings. And that is almost 7% drop. At its peak, it was down nearly 9%. So we'll take a look at why this drop happened and what's going on with the stock. Has something changed and it's not worth holding or buying anymore? Or is this just an overreaction, an opportunity to get more shares? So here we're looking at the press release. I highlighted everything that's important. They summarize everything in text that we'll see down lower in the actual numbers. So we start with first quarter revenues and EPS ahead of expectations, according to the CEO of the company. And they say that the balanced result gives them confidence to increase the full year guidance, as they see numerous opportunities for key assets to drive compelling long-term growth. So they see growth potential and high earnings. That's not what the market sees. They announced that they made the first oral JAK inhibitor for Crohn's disease. They had positive top-line results for a phase 3 study on Skyrizi, a positive phase 2 top-line result on Rinvoq. They intend to withdraw accelerated Imbruvica approvals, and they received approval from the FDA for Qualipta. And they received a complete research response letter for ABBV 951, where the FDA requests additional information about how the device works, but they didn't request any additional efficacy or safety trials. So that is some good news for a lot of those things. They're also collaborating with another biotherapeutics company to work on medications for eye diseases that have an unmet need. So that could be an untapped market that they're starting to head into, and they could have a lot of potential going into that. They say that they're raising the adjusted EPS guidance from the $10.62 to $11.02 that they originally had to $10.72 to $11.12. So they're raising their EPS 10 cents. Analysts have them coming in this year at $11.04. So analysts had it above the original range. They're coming in a little bit higher than the analysts are expecting. Here they have revenues growth decline for all of their products. So I highlighted the biggest changes. Humira, they saw a 25% decline, but Skyrizi and Rinvoq, they saw 40 to 50% increases. So that's some good news on those newer drugs that are currently in trials. 25% decrease on Imbruvica, a 31.3% increase on Vraylar, a 55.2% decrease on other neuroscience, 62.8% decrease on some of eye care, Alphajan / Combijan. And now we get down to the numbers that we're looking for. So we see net revenues decreased 9.7% this quarter compared to the same quarter of last year. The cost of goods decreased by 1.65%, which is a trend that we'd like to see broken, because that came in very hot on a 3-year compound annual growth rate of nearly 33%. This last year, they were able to drop it by 0.18. If they can drop it by more than 1% this year, continuing on this trend, that would be nice. But we would like to see some growth on the top line. Expenses down 2.8%, kind of expected with less business. We see their operating earnings are significantly lower than last year. And that brings us down through all of this, where we see that they had a very high other expense that last year had other income in it. And that's what really hurt their bottom line, which brought them down to 239 compared to 4,490 the prior year, where they end up with an earnings per share of $2.46 this quarter compared to the $3.16 last quarter. Shares outstanding is declining. That is what we like to see. And that's all the information that I'm really finding. They have some non-GAAP numbers down here, but these aren't the numbers that we tend to look at. I'm not finding anything on the balance sheet. Am I going to sell out of this stock? No, I don't think so. I'm going to hold. I actually might pick up a little bit more, because if the company thinks that they're on a good track, they might know a bit better than the market does. One point of concern for me is when I look at the insider transactions on the stock, I do see that more recently there were quite a few sales from within the company. We are able to see that right here. We see sale price 161, sale price 160, sale price 160, sale price 152. Just quite a few sales in the recent history. As of April, we have some sale transactions, but not a massive concern. Maybe that they knew that these earnings wouldn't be great, because over the last 6 months, we do see the purchases way outweighing the sales. We see almost 3 times the amount of stocks being purchased than sold. So it could just be something's going on in their lives. They need to free up money. It does seem to be mostly the same 2 people. I actually picked up a little bit more of the stock because I like the dividend yield. We had the valuation in the high 100s, and it's now dropped to the mid 100s. So I think that there is some upside there. There's some value. Earnings overreaction for sure. Earnings aren't everything for a company. And I'd like to see how the rest of the year plays out. But that is what I'm seeing on the stock. I want to thank you guys for watching. I plan to come out with some more videos, hopefully multiple over these coming days. Aflac, Altria, and a few others that I'd like to take a look at. So make sure you subscribe so you're notified once they come out, and I will see you guys then.